On Monday, in the wind and rain, we moved into the new to us house. The boxes that plagued us before the move now lie in half-empty carcasses and flattened piles with packing paper. Debbie and I now spend our days wondering where each item from those boxes should reside. Moving is hard, but eventually we will be settled. Thank you all for your prayers and well wishes and kind assistance. It was all greatly appreciated. I would also like to give a 5-star review to the 2 Men in a Truck company. We hired them to help us move the heavy stuff and the furniture because they have donated over $40,000 of free moving services to Passageways, which is a ministry to homeless veterans that was started by 2 of our Ascension members, Susan Mollinger and Jennifer Garrison. And since I'm dropping names and giving reviews, one more shout out goes to Ascension member Jessica Hawley, who was our realtor. We are giving her 6 stars out on a 5-star scale. This coming Sunday, as well as next weekend, I will be the preacher, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the message with you all. This coming weekend, the sermon centers around the gospel reading from Luke chapter 15. It's the very familiar story of the parable Jesus told of the prodigal son. And while the subtitle placed over this section of the scripture in most English Bibles is focused on the sinful son who sees the error of his ways and returns home, the real star of the show is the dad. I mean, what kind of dad is this who would take his boy back after squandering the family fortune on wild living? I can remember coming home from a Sunday service as a kid and hearing my own father give his commentary about this text, saying, "I would never be so forgiving." As a kid, I noted this information for later use. Don't go wild, and if you do, don't get caught. The story of the dad who welcomed his youngest son back into the family is a rich playground for preachers to state the obvious. But this story has so much more to give to us than to say, "Oh, look how forgiving God is." Oh, he's like the dad in the story. Yeah, he is forgiving, but there are 2 boys in this story, and the older son was a bit of a mess too, and just in a different way. And if we're going to be pointing out the dysfunctional people in this family, the dad was also someone who did some very strange things too. I hope that you will come this weekend for worship. And if you do, I hope that you will go home and tell your kids how good God is. Now, as I mentioned, I am also preaching the following week too. And rather than preaching on the normal Bible readings assigned for that weekend in Lent, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Why, you may ask? Well, I was asked a very interesting question by a member who wanted to know, where did evil come from? I mean, if God created everything and created it good, then why is there evil in the world? Why did God allow a devil to tempt humanity to evil in the garden? And why does he allow evil to remain? This person said that he would love to hear a sermon on the question of evil. Well, this question really intrigued me too, and I have started working on it, and this will be the subject of that weekend's message. Until then, I hope to see you all this weekend and in each of our ministry offerings, which includes our midweek Common Ground meal at 5 p.m. and then the Wednesday Lenten worship following at 6 p.m., along with our many offerings of Bible studies and our youth events. See you all later.